Welcome back and welcome to the newbies to the Sports Dribble podcast, powered by Sports Rewind Digital. BJ and Davo joining me once again for the Christmas edition.
Evening all.
Randall, show us your ugly sweater there, mate. Yeah, buddy.
You notice?
Look at that reverse turtle shell. That's
Lovely.
awesome. Davo, you're running a set of lights up the top, mate.
I am,
Beautiful.
mate.
Very Christmassy.
Worst part is that it's cold enough to wear that bloody jumper.
It is.
Yes. It was a nice afternoon this afternoon, though. We're out at Whinge RSL we were at, having a few refreshing ales. Sun come out for a little bit. Not
Beautiful.
much, but a little bit.
Yeah, it's been pretty average. Not as cold as Buffalo and the Packers today. That was pretty chilly also.
So -9 or something, I think they said in telecast.
Yeah. That was a field goal. It was their third ever field goal at that temperature or something.
Crazy.
Kicked. It was unbelievable. Anyway, let's kick us off. Well, actually, before we go to the tidbits, you get any runs this week, Davo?
I got 9.
9.
That's runs. Yeah.
What about the kids and the missus?
Daughter got 46, not out.
Yes.
Wife got 42, not out.
Oh, yes.
But I took 3 wickets. So
So that even.
I was a bowler this week. I was required to be opening bowler, so had to focus more on that.
Opening with the spin.
No. It was medium pace. It was about the same run up, but just a little bit of effort, and still wore me out though. So
had to bend the back a little bit more, mate.
Yeah, had to bend the back. Started 5 overs of medium pace, and then bowled the last 2 overs of spin. So, if you can't succeed at one thing, just be sort of crappy at everything, and skipper will give you a go.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Right arm pies over the fence. By the sound of it.
That's pretty much it.
And we all know the saying, though, don't we? Shit gets wickets.
Surprising it was the shit ball that got the wicket early. I'd sort of bowled a few on the stumps. He played them. I threw one outside off stump. That was surprised it wasn't called a wide. He went out and got it, nicked it to the keeper, and first thing out of everyone's mouth, shit ball gets a wicket.
That's it.
Can't bowl there. Next minute, wicket.
Yes, but no, the daughter's going well and truly in front with the runs. I think she's about 60 something runs in front of me now. So
you beauty.
Yeah.
Just as we planned, mate. That's okay.
Oh yeah, I told you to take that bet from the first week. So yeah,
beautiful.
Don't be too disappointed, Davo. You still got more runs than the Thunder the other night.
Well, that wasn't very hard. I like when they reached none for 15 in their next match. There was like cheers around the ground.
And they got 150 on tonight too.
150, yeah. Noticed that. So yes, we won the game. Local derby. It was the first time in, I think, 14 years the club had an inter-club sort of game. We've got two teams in the same grade. So first time in like 14 years. So good lead up for the Christmas party. So plenty of banter, as you always do. So
just a touch of sledging.
Good afternoon.
Did you Blake see David Warner posted on socials? He was on a flight to Bali, but he wasn't, and they started flogging into him at the media conference to the coach. And so, do you know David Warner's in Bali? Blah blah blah. What's going on there? Not real good prep for the test. And they're like, what? I had no idea what was going on. But then they come up with he was in Brisbane on a plane to Brisbane, but he was at home just having a joke with everybody.
That's good.
Absolutely getting the media back.
Maybe he should have gone to Bali.
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably took a bit of focus off the media with his batting anyway, didn't it?
That's right. Righto, fellas. Tidbits for the week. This is our last week before Chrissy. Gonna have a few tidbits this week. The Whinge of the week. We'll also go around the grounds with all the different sports that we cover as per usual. Just want to say I'd love you guys to subscribe to our channel. And if you're listening on the podcast, give us a bit of a 5-star rating. I know Randall's probably only 3. You know, Davo's probably pulling his weight there with those lights that you can't see on the podcast. He's probably a good 4. And I'm not even going to score myself, Randall, because you can't score 6 out of 5, mate.
Oh,
You're glittering well there, mate.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just not your head tonight. It's the hat.
No, that's right. Well, I did have this planned, my reindeer ears, but it's a bit limp. So I left him out.
yep.
Left
Got to
him
keep
out.
that one out of the bedroom, champ.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, tidbits for the week. Who wants to kick off?
I can go. I've only got the one. This week, Dolphins versus the Bills. The game had to be delayed due to fans throwing snowballs on the field. They had to stop play and they threatened to call the game off if
Wow.
the fans didn't stop throwing the snowballs in case they hit someone and caused injury. Who
Love
on the
it.
field is going to get hit with a snowball and get injured? How much padding do they wear and helmets?
Oh, they're princesses.
Mate, they
Come on.
could get a little bit in the eye. You never know.
Yeah, well, white stuff in the eye is not good.
I did see
Definitely
vision of
not.
that game, and it's like they didn't bother with the seats. They just patted down the snow and sat on top of the snow, or just stood the whole game.
They're crazy, isn't it? They are insane.
Couldn't imagine being there. What do you got for us, Davo?
So a bit of karma for old mate who caught Aaron Judge's 62nd home run ball. He was offered at the time $3 million to sell it. He goes, no, nah, going to hold on to it, take it to auction, make a fortune. Well, he took it to auction, sold for $1.5 million. So that's a bit of karma coming his way that he sort of thought, yeah, I'm on a good payday here, and didn't pay out for him.
Doesn't
I'd
pay
still
to
be
be
happy
greedy.
with $1.5 million, though.
Yeah, you wouldn't argue with it, but
No.
it's still three would be better if you're talking that sort of money.
Yeah.
So the second one was Randy Johnson,
Yep.
the legend that was Randy. He had 5 consecutive 300-plus strikeout seasons from 98 to 2002. So that's like 20 years ago. Since then, there's only been 5 total 300-plus strikeout seasons. So, and you think he's playing back in the day where sort of like guys are trying to make contact. They're not just swinging for fences. Like you had decent 300 hitters back then, and he's had 5 seasons in a row, 300 plus. There's only been 5 since. So that's dominant.
Crazy, isn't it? Always love watching him pitch.
Especially when he kills a bird.
Yeah.
And then the last one for the NFL guys as well. Good old Tom Brady. First season ever of 8 losses in a season.
You beauty.
So couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Mate, I'd love to say Tom, retire, but my first tidbit is from the Patriots place. According to announcer Bill Simmons, there is a strong possibility that Tom Brady will meet with Belichick this week to finalise a 1-year deal for the following season. Mate,
Really?
yeah, come on. Come on, he's not that old, is he?
Going home for one final season, eh?
Well, yeah, he's hoping for one last hurrah.
Well, he probably lost half his money in the divorce, so he's got to
Yeah, that's right. He's got to
get
make
some
a
more.
bit back.
Yeah.
Well, this is all his now. He doesn't have to. Oh, I suppose
Doesn't have to split it.
his kids are pretty young.
Yeah.
He'll
Well, it
be great.
worked for Albert this year, didn't it?
That's
Who
right.
else going home? So
Yeah,
you never know. Mind you, Albert had a decent team around him. Not sure
he
what
did.
the Patriots will be like next year.
I watched a bit of a doco on MLB TV today, and it was like the 10 best games of the year or whatever it was. And Albert come in at number 9 when he come on to pitch. I think it was in May or something. It was pretty good to watch. My next one I've got Wayne Gretzky. If you took away every goal that Gretzky scored, he would still be the NHL's all-time points leader. Insane. So not only could he score goals, he was obviously very handy with assists. It's pretty crazy to think. Obviously, had a massive career.
I wonder it's called the Great One.
That's it.
Yeah,
And
he was a freak,
Well,
wasn't he?
Didn't
was a
Overcheck just reach 800 goals? He's only
Yeah.
the third one ever
Yep.
in the NHL. So, but Gretzky's way out in front. Probably won't catch him, but still 800 goals in the NHL. Only 3 of them ever.
Yeah, pretty cool stat. I love watching Ovechkin play, but yeah, nothing like the old Gretzky. My next one is 30 consecutive seasons that Green Bay is appearing on Monday Night Football, the longest streak in the NFL. Until you blokes messaged me today, I forgot it was even on. So thank God for that message, because I watched the rest of the game and it was pretty good. Pretty good. That's it for our tidbits for the week. Don't forget, we have Funkie Phil Showcase this week. I believe Thursday night down at Blacktown International, what do they call it now? Sports Park or something. Yeah, so you can still buy tickets. Make sure you jump on and get some. All the money goes back to the clubs. I'll leave a link in the bottom in the description so that you can go and get your tickets. I know me and Randall are going down there. Bit of a laugh and watch a few home runs get hit.
Hopefully a beer or two, bit of barbecue.
Couple of beers, bit of Black Bear Barbie.
A lot more atmosphere than a Blue Sox game.
Well, I think they've sold about 2,500 tickets so far, so
Nice.
it's going to be pretty good for all the baseball clubs. So yeah, don't forget, everything that's made on the night is going towards local sporting club or local baseball clubs. So it'd be really cool to get down and support that.
And he's got so many souvenirs as well. He's got caps he's given away. Every ball, every foul ball, home run, it's being kept by whoever catches it. He's got the wristband. So yeah, he's gone all out. He's going to be a great night. But just shame I'm busy that night. Otherwise, I'd be down there. But yeah, looking forward to seeing it, reading all the reviews. So I say get out there and get tickets.
Yeah, I can't wait. Lefties versus righties as well. So going to be real good. Hopefully the righties come away with a win.
Yeah, cheating lefties.
Yeah, don't want those lefties to win, mate. Righto, the whinge of the week. We started this one last week. There was a few people like it and comment on it, so I'll run with it. This week's whinge of the week. I'm not putting up footage this week. Last week I don't know what happened with it. It was all jumpy. So on the playback, the whinge of the week, the Melbourne Derby in the soccer or football, as some like to call it. Melbourne versus Melbourne. Bit of controversy there before the game. They're saying they were going to protest. The fans were going to walk out at halftime, protesting the fact that Sydney has supposedly got the next 3 grand finals. So they were protesting that, it should be like it used to be, the home team gets the grand final and stuff like that. So, and then protests sort of turned a bit wild. Someone threw a flare onto the field right next to the goalie. The goalie just sort of flicked it back, and then it was on. People run onto the field. Goalie got hit in the head with what even was that?
A metal bucket, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it looked like a chalk bucket from the gym.
Yeah, someone
it's
threw
the
a bucket.
It's the bucket they used to put the flares out.
Yeah, right.
So it's the sandy sort of stuff. So when they have a flare going, it's about to go out. That's it. So it says a lot about the crowd when they're carrying that sort of bucket into the stadium to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so obviously I'm not a big fan of any sort of violence or things like that, but jumping onto a sporting arena and obviously interrupting play and injuring a player is not real good.
And the referee, I think the referee copped a bit too.
Yeah, he had a guard sort of with him straight away, and they shoot them all off.
There was a cameraman too, I believe, like a Fox, I think it was Fox Sports or whoever. Cameraman was, I think he got a bit of a whack in the head back of the head or something like that too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're people that are just doing their job. They've got nothing to do with any of that other crap.
Yep.
You know. Yeah.
And what
But it's a
about the players from Melbourne? So it's Melbourne versus Melbourne derby. So usually, you know, the place would be packed, people cheering on each team, and yeah, they're going to protest and walk out or whatever. I understand that they're not happy with what's happened, but to jump on the ground, players have got no control over where the grand final is going to be or anything like that. So it was pretty crap.
That's right. Take it up with the federation. Say they're the ones who decide. Do you protest? Walk out at halftime, or just don't buy tickets, don't show up. That hurts them. But now you're hurting players, and yeah, just stupid behaviour.
It is.
That's assault, brother.
It is. Anyway, that's the whinge of the week. It'll be back next year. Our last show.
Fans just need to get better. It's just dog shit. It really is. It's disgusting.
And I've only been to a couple of soccer matches, and yeah, the ones I did go to, there's beer cans getting thrown, and also beer cups. They don't have cans anymore. You're not allowed to have cans because of, you know, shit like this that happens at the sporting event. So,
but what sort of place do we want to be? Like, I think I saw something, and it was like the Bengali soccer league or something like that, and the same thing happened. That a bunch of players got into a punch up, and there were fans that were scaling the 10-foot high fences that they have over there, and they were jumping on the field. They start to run out towards the pitch, and there's soldiers there with machine guns that just point them at them and get back over the fence, or we shoot you.
yeah.
You know, like, we don't want to be like a country like the cricket in India, where the same thing, and they've got these massive fences all around the playing arena. Like, you know, we're happy with the way it is here. Like,
yeah,
you're only going to ruin it for everyone else by being a dickhead.
yeah.
A small number ruin it for a lot.
It's always good to see a streaker though, because you know they're not going to cause any harm.
No
But
concealed weapons.
But yeah, when you're throwing buckets at goalkeepers' heads, it's not cool.
No.
Righto. What do we want to do next? I'm going to let you guys choose either the cricket, NFL, ABL, or MLB signings. I'm giving you options this week.
Let's go to the cricket, Davo.
Oh, geez, don't do that, mate. That's like the captain the other week asking me where I want the field. I'm like, hang on, I don't know where they go. You're the captain. You sort it out. But yeah, the cricket. Well, we should be still watching a test match, but that was over pretty quick. I know there's been a lot of talk about the wicket, and yes, it was a green top, and it's not good for the game. But the thing is, it's the same for both teams.
Yeah.
For a test to be over in 2 days, it shows there was still life in it for both teams. We just handled it better, head batted well to get his 92, and that was the difference in the tests. So, while, yeah, everyone loves to see the game go 5 days and they want to whinge, same for both teams. So they get a bit of a break now till Boxing Day, which hopefully the pitch down there is still lively. Hopefully not as lively as this one, but give it something in it to give a bit of spice for the bowlers. So 1-0 to us. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and in saying that too, yeah, it was a spicy pitch, but there are 2 world class, the number 1 and number 2 bowling attacks in the world too. You know, so anything that might a little bit extra that might have been there, they're going to get more out of it.
Yeah.
So against a lesser bowling attack, it might not have been so, you know, so quick.
Like, that's it. No offense to the Windies, but could you see the Windies bowling Australia out on that wicket? Like, there's spice in it, and that's what you like to see. The fast bowlers that do bowl fast, it's stuff for them and accurate. It's like Boland again. He's set the world on fire, which is a tough call for the Aussies now, because I think Hazelwood's going to be fit for the second test, but Boland's done the job for us. But unfortunately, I think the true character of Hazelwood, he deserves to come straight back in. And unfortunately, back to the sidelines for Boland, which is tough considering how well he's bowled.
Yeah.
But Stark's bowling well. Cummins is your captain.
And Lyon's not going to miss out.
No.
You're not going to have
Green. You're going to keep Green there for, even though he hasn't done a lot with the bat, he's touted as the true all-rounder of the future. So you want to play him. So unfortunately, Boland's the one who just misses out at the moment.
You look at Green, like the way he fields, like you can't drop him out of the field either, can you? He's pretty tidy in that gully region.
For a big guy too, like he's agile. Like it's surprising, such a big guy in a gully there, but nothing gets past him.
No, I think he had a catch there in that on the last day. I mean, second day, where he actually had to jump up above his head. Like I don't think he jumped too much, but it went quick. If you're a normal sized person, that's over your head in 4 runs.
Yeah, that's right. If that's Quasha or Warner or Labuschagne or something, that's over your head. But so good result there. The women wrapped up their 2020 over in India with a convincing win. So they won the series over there. So that's great for them to go over to India, a real showcase event really for women's cricket, and to dominate India in India is a great outcome. So good job by them. The Big Bash tonight, strikers are doing it tough. 1 for 65 after 9.
Good
against the Thunder, so they're only chasing 150. The Hurricanes got up last night over the Scorchers. Sydney's lost again, which is surprising. They're 0-2, so not a good start by them. But so that's sort of where we're at with the cricket.
It's a bit interesting, David. As you know, I follow the Thunder. So what are we in about? This is about game 10 tonight or something like that, I think.
12.
Game 12. So this is the Thunder's 4th game already, and the second time they've played the Strikers. Brisbane Heat have played 1 game.
Yeah, the layout
how
of
does it work?
Is very strange. I don't know. I don't know how they've worked it because, as you say, Sydney's already played a couple of games. Adelaide's played a lot. Sydney's played a lot. And then, I think Hobart's 1 game. I think Melbourne Stars are only 1 game, I think. So, yeah, it baffles me how they've worked out this draw.
Yeah, it's just a bit odd. I sort of watched.
They all head up there, sort of thing, for the next couple of games or something, or
no? These are all home games. Like it's not like it's been in one regional area to promote the game.
Yeah.
They're at Adelaide Oval tonight. Renegades played their home game. Perth played, or Hobart's home game, even though it's in Launceston or still in Tassie. Brisbane Heat played their game up in Cairns, so it's still in Brisbane. So I don't know. It's a weird one.
Strange, isn't it?
It is, because I've been, obviously, like I said, I watch a lot of the Big Bash. It's best time of year, Big Bash. So Thunder play tonight. They're playing in Adelaide. They played 2 nights ago against the Renegades. That was in Melbourne.
Yep.
2 nights before that, they played Adelaide in Sydney. And I think 2 nights before that, they played the Melbourne Stars in Canberra.
Yeah, to kick it off. Yeah.
So they've been playing every second day, sort of thing. Like, it's just got me dumbfounded. And I'm spewing too, because once we get past the New Year's test, that back end of the season, Warner comes back. So he'll be playing for the Thunder. And they're not going to have any games.
Yeah.
They won't make the semis, right? The rate they're going.
Yeah, that's right. It's odd. Like, I get putting a game on every night and there's double headers and all that. Like, yeah, it's great. But, yeah, share the love. I want to see the other teams. Like I say, seeing Hobart play last night, I was like, oh, haven't seen them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there any conflicting other games, like state games or anything, that are going on? Or
no,
it's only the test matches where they can't play at that venue.
Yeah,
that's all it is for the week. So obviously the Brisbane Heat wouldn't have been, or technically shouldn't have been able to play at home for this week.
That's why they went to Cairns.
Yeah. So, after Christmas, Melbourne Stars won't play at the MCG because a test will be on, and New Year's test, the Sixers can't play at the SCG. But that's easy. Just play away games during that period. But really, in a week, there should only be 1 game anyway.
Yeah, the Sixers have a home game, but that's the one they transfer to Coffs Harbour.
Yeah.
So, because they know the test is on, and I think Melbourne Stars might play out of Geelong maybe for their one. But there's no Shield games on. There's nothing. Australian cricket stops, except for the tests, of course, for the Big Bash.
Yeah. That's good that they're getting out to regional areas, though, like Coffs Harbour and things. Be awesome to sort of see one.
Well, sell out up in Cairns. It was a great crowd up there, and Launceston, even though Tassie's not that big, just for them to take a game to Launceston it had a good crowd there last night, despite it being a bit cool. Not sure, pretty good crowd in Adelaide. Still weird seeing Chris Lynn play for Adelaide and not Brisbane. But yeah. So no, that's our nightly viewing pretty much every night.
How's that draft worked out so far? I know they had the draft this year to sort of mix the players up a bit and sort of spread them out a bit. Has it changed it much?
Not a whole lot, because the teams that had their one star have sort of kept them.
Yeah.
And they didn't go for a lot of the international players because some of them are playing their own test series.
Yeah.
So they based it on how many games they'd get out of each person. So no, there hasn't been too many. So we've only seen the Thunder so far, and they haven't had much.
Yeah.
No, see, they were meant to have that. Is it David Willey from the Pommy quick bowler?
Yep.
And he pulled out of the whole comp. So that Riley Rousseau from South Africa, he's been a replacement for a late season replacement. So I think he had a big knock the other night. He got a 60 or odd, didn't he? What, 2 nights ago? Pretty sure he got 60 odd.
I think he went well.
Yeah.
Not in the game where they got 15, but the match after.
How about that? 15 runs, all out for 15. Like, what was it? Four times less than the previous lowest score.
Yeah. And it's not like the bowling, like it was tight bowling, but it wasn't express. The ball wasn't moving much. If they had batted first and bowled out for 15, you'd say, geez, there's something in the wicket there, or the bowling was good. But they batted second, and the pitch often slows down a little bit, like it'll hold up as the night goes on. But it was just terrible shot making.
Yeah. There was a couple of early really good catches there. There was the one at first slip.
Yeah.
Where old mate had to jump up, and I think it might have even been the first ball of the innings. There was a diving catch, sort of point gully. I think it might have been. I can't really remember now. Sort of region was a fairly decent catch, and from there they did nothing. It was just a lot of like what we talked about. This was a lot of just stand and deliver.
Yeah,
there was no foot movement. No, nothing.
Had a Christmas party to go to. They were out of there.
They must have, mate, because there was a lot of caught behind the wicket too. Like, that's when you're not bowling that quick. You know, they're playing the exact same team tonight, and they scored 150. You know, it's just anyway. It is what it is. Any team surprised you, Davo? So far,
just probably like the Thunder, as bad as what they've been. The Sixers not playing that well. That surprised me. I thought they'd be up there as contenders. I
know it's only early. It's hard to, like, everyone's played sort of 1 or 2 games, but
Hurricanes surprised me. Like, I thought Perth would have put them away a bit easier, but because I thought Perth they're going to be the team to beat. But the strikers, they're showing pretty good form. It's like Chris Lynn's batting well. Short, he's 53. He's got his 50 here. They got Rashid Khan bowling again, so that's a big thing. So yeah, probably a bit early, but the losses by Sydney's been the surprising thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Righto. Let's leave the cricket there. I haven't even seen any local cricket scores this year. I usually stay up to date with the Newcastle cricket, but
not worth it much, Newcastle cricket.
That's it. I couldn't even tell you who's on top these days. Let's head over to the ABL. The ABL have finished up for the Christmas break. There's no games this week for the ABL. At the top of the table, we've got Adelaide Giants and the Perth Heat in the Southwest Division. Giants are 16-8. And on the northeast division, we got Brisbane Bandits. They're 20-4. Auckland are 11-9. They've still got a series where they got washed out. So I'm not sure what they're doing to make those games up. But yeah, they're still at second spot there with 11-9. The Cabs are just behind them, 9-15. Did you Blake see any of the baseball on the weekend?
I saw a little bit. I think I saw Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
I think it was for the Cavs. And then I just sort of, cricket started, mate. So
Fair.
I was probably with Davo glued to the test, and when that finishes, straight on with the Big Bash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only saw the scores of the game, so I hadn't seen any sort of results. I saw the highlights of old mate Whinge being over at third base there.
That was good.
Yep, good play. I saw the boss man hitting one out.
Yep, crushed it.
Good to see.
Yeah, it was good to see Rickson play third base. He had 2 or 3 good plays there. A barehander on. I think he hit a double as well. So good to see him have a bit of fun and get out there and play third base. For whatever reason, their third baseman was injured or whatever it might have been. It was definitely good to see.
And have more hair than his old man.
Yes,
That's not hard either.
That's not hard, is it?
definitely does that. But,
Sorry, Winston.
But yes, what about the World Cup, fellas? Did you get up and watch that at 2 a.m. or whatever it was?
Not a chance, but I watched the highlights.
Mate, I was pretty lucky. I was on night shift.
Oh,
So
perfect.
it wasn't much aluminium getting brought down the hill between 2 and 5. I can tell you. What a quality game, mate. I think it was about it was probably about 50 minutes into the game, and you've seen that whole momentum shift going away from Argentina, and it was like, holy crap, they're going to come back here. And then, wow, that last part of the second half was just unbelievable.
Then would it finish regular time? Finish 2-2. Is that right? And then overtime, their extra 20 minutes or whatever they play, and ended up at 3-3. And
3-3,
then
yeah.
Then penalty shootout 4-2.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Messi 2 goals.
Yeah,
Mbappe 3 goals.
3 goals. Yeah,
for France.
There
He
was
can play, can't he?
Oh, and he's only 24 or something.
Only young, yeah.
I seen it. I'm trying to find it. There was a highlight. Yeah, he's the first player to score a World Cup hat trick since England's Jeff Hurst in 1966. And
lose.
Yeah.
Well, what's your thoughts on the penalty shootout to decide the World Cup? Is it sort of the thing where you just keep going until you get that, like, have your extra time? And if you've got a winner after the extra time, and then does it go to sort of sudden death where you keep playing and the next goal wins? But I suppose you could be here for another 3 hours, maybe. I suppose that's the only downfall of it.
Play an extra 20, golden goal or golden point or whatever, and at the end of the extra 20, I don't know, maybe get the cornhole out. Best of 5 cornhole.
No, I'm okay with it. It's part of the game. It's how all games are decided. If they're tied at the end of time, they practice taking penalty goals.
And it does put the pressure on the whole team, really, doesn't it? Because it's not just one guy having a shot. And as a goalie, you probably prefer it, because if you don't stop it, well, you're not really expected to. No. So if you do happen to make a save, bonus. If not, well, hey, that's part of the game. It happens more often than not.
It's more, the goal is like, you save one. It's like someone hitting a bomb in baseball, isn't it? It's not as expected, but if it happens, you beauty. That's a bonus to us, where you're taking a shot.
It's like you hitting a bomb, mate. Very unexpected.
Mate, wash your mouth. That's not going to happen.
Or you only have a 2 strikeout game instead of 4. Is that more like it?
Yeah, more like it.
Okay.
That's if they plays 9 innings. If it's only 7, it's probably 3 and 2 instead of.
If it's third grade up here, it's usually only 2 or 3 innings, mate.
Fair enough. Righto, what else have we got? We got some MLB signings, but we'll get to that. What about the you blokes? You blokes wouldn't have seen any of the swimming during the week.
Nah, not really.
Would have been flat out into the cricket. Apparently there was swimming on, fellas. You didn't get to see any of it, but USA had they outdid us. They had 17 gold. We only had 13. USA took out 36 total medals. Australia had 26. Italy come third with 5 gold. But yeah, that was down in Melbourne in between the 13th and the 18th.
I did see it. I didn't catch a lot of it. I think when I was flicking channels, I saw on Channel 9, I saw parts of races. But yeah, someone did mention it was on. But they're always hard to beat the Yanks in the swimming. And it's always a good battle. Australia, America. It's like, forget every other country. It's the two heavyweights.
Yeah, it's always good to watch. I don't mind flicking it on, but there was so much other sport going on at the moment. I think I've probably seen maybe 45 minutes of it. Top sort of sat down, and then the young fella wanted to watch some garbage trucks or something. So that trumped it on that TV. I was out. And yeah, what else have we got this week? Obviously the MLB signings.
NFL scores.
NFL, Randall.
It's a
Getting
big
towards
week.
a pointy end.
Mate, it was a huge week.
We've got 3 weeks left, I think.
3 more. Yep.
We'll talk about that at the end too, with all the teams that are now clinched playoffs.
And you get to watch NFL on Christmas Day.
Oh, mate. And guess what? It's the Ravens.
Oh, beauty.
Not worth worrying about after last week.
Anyway,
mate, sorry.
We'll be all right. We'll get to that. 49ers 21 defeated the Seahawks. Brock Purdy. He controlled the game, didn't he? I don't know if you guys watched it, I assume.
Yeah,
I did.
I think we chatted about it. I can't remember. That was Thursday or something, I think. Jesus Christ.
But it's not a bad team to come into. Like, I know they're singing the praises of him, but when you've got that team around you, like for a rookie, it's a great position to be in, isn't it?
100%. Mate, their defense is it's unreal at the moment. Like, they can't put a foot wrong. Even their offense, they just keep turning it on.
Well, for Purdy, it's just like, go out and give us 2 touchdowns. Defense, yep, we'll keep them under that.
And we'll hold it. That's exactly right. Look, he looked like a seasoned veteran. Like with some of those plays, like, it was good to watch. It was impressive. We'll see how he keeps going though. Like, they have clinched a playoff spot. So and also they've clinched the NFC West. NFC West division. So good on them. They can go and experiment now. Really, they can go and do whatever they want for the next couple of weeks.
It's probably a good position to be in for Purdy. It's like there's now no pressure. They've already clinched the division. Try things. Let's see what the kid can do.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I was saying he had some sort of injury going into last week's game as well. So maybe, if it is just a niggle, maybe we won't see him a lot. Maybe, they might sit him down. But obviously he went in and played still with whatever injury he had, because there's no one left. Maybe the water boy could have come back out and threw a few, but
I think they'll be scratching the bottom of the barrel, won't they?
Yeah.
Vikings over the Colts 39-36. Did you guys catch any of this game? How about the comeback?
Was it 33 points?
They were down 36-14 at the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And they ended up scoring enough to go to overtime. They scored 22 points, the Vikings, in the fourth quarter, and they got the field goal in overtime to get the win. Just how do you stop that? Like, it must just that momentum shift, and all of a sudden they just couldn't stop them.
Yeah, morale killer for the Colts.
Couldn't do anything wrong.
Big time. My Ravens are out. They were down by the Browns 13-3. They're just lost without Lamar, aren't they? They just couldn't get upfield. They were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. I think kicker, it's the first time in how many years that he's missed 2 field goals in a game. So he
Yeah.
missed one and he had one, I think, knocked down, I believe. But yeah, first time, something like in 4 years or something that, yeah, he's missed 2 in a game. So
It still says a lot about their offense, though, that they're relying on him just to score points.
Yeah.
That they're not even putting the ball in the end zone.
no,
So
and they had turnovers, a lot of turnovers. I think he picked off twice. I think there was 2 turnovers on downs where they tried to go for on the 4th down and they couldn't get it. Going into, I think, I can't remember now if it was halftime or end of the first. I think it was halftime, and it was 6-3, and they took a long range field goal attempt, and they missed, which
yeah,
one out of 100 is a miss. It should have tied it up at 6-all. Go into halftime, come out and you're sweet. Didn't happen. They come out straight in that 3rd quarter, straight off the bat, pretty much. Boom, touchdown, and that was it. Game over. They just couldn't come back. The Bills and the Dolphins. We talked about this one. The Bills 32, Dolphins 29. Bills again with a late flourish. 11 points in the 4th quarter to come back to get that win. It was
Awesome
pretty good game. Pretty good game.
Pretty cold there, mate.
Pretty cold. We talked about that before. Yeah,
bit fresh.
Throwing snowballs and things like that. You know,
They
wouldn't
still
find
held
me
the
there.
still held the tailgate parties though.
Yeah.
They still had the cookers going and everything. So you gotta love their commitment.
That Bills Mafia, they're insane. Those blokes, aren't they?
They are.
The Saints 21 over Falcons 18. Pittsburgh 24 defeated Carolina 16. The Eagles, they keep impressing everyone, don't they? They're now at 13-1.
Yep.
They got to win 25-20 over the Bears.
Jalen's hurt though, so that'll be interesting to see what happens this week.
Yep. Yes, it will. The Cowboys are still close enough to them. They have clenched their position. Sorry, a playoff
spot. Yep.
But yeah, the Cowboys are right behind them. They're a couple of games behind, and they can still catch them. So they haven't quite clinched the division spot yet, but yeah, another win, and I think that's done and dusted. The Chiefs, Hudson, they got a win 30-24 against the poor old Texans. That's a bit closer than you'd like against the Texans, I think.
Horrible. Hey, they got away with a win though, so
they did.
Points are on the board.
That's it, and they clenched.
Yep.
So AFC West division and a playoff berth. That's good for them.
It is.
Cowboys beaten by Jacksonville in overtime, 40-34. That's probably pretty disappointing for the Cowboys. They have clenched a playoff spot, but they're trying to keep in touch with the Eagles. So a win, they probably should have won. A win there would have really held them in good stead to finish off the season. But
Dak
is what it
Prescott
is.
looked terrible.
Oh,
I watched a bit of that game and mate, he's had some good patches in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Just did not look comfortable with the ball at all this week.
no, not at all.
Got picked a few times. Yeah.
Pretty disappointing. The Lions 20 over the Jets 17. Denver 24 over Cardinals 15. The Raiders have moved up to 6-8. Like we were only joking about this a few weeks back where, we were saying they can't win a game. They're now 6-8 after they defeated the Patriots 30-24.
How about how they beat them though?
Oh,
yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, anyone want to
Hot
describe
potato.
that? Hot potato, all right.
Mate.
What was there? There was 4 or 5 passes to get that intercept on the last play of the game. Scores are locked, and they're just throwing it around like, anything could happen. And then old mate just throws it back to
no one.
to Raiders. Here you go. Go for a run, old mate. It was just horrible.
It was looking a bit like, like a rugby sevens, like Fiji in the rugby sevens or something at first. It wasn't, just ball was just going here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, here you go. Take the ball.
with no one in front of you.
with
So
no
it's
one
like
there.
everyone was downfield. When I was flicked back to him, he's turned around and seen just empty field. Off you go.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it?
I want to know what he was doing back there. Anyway,
He was he was doing the old slacking off. He was doing the old Nathan Hindmarsh.
yeah.
He just
Oh.
everyone had burned past him, and he was like, "Oh, I need a breather.
Yeah.
Need a breather." And oh, hang on, I can do something here.
No time left.
No time. The Chargers beat the Titans 17-14. The Bucks 23, done by the Bengals 34. I was watching this game with a lot of interest after the Ravens were beaten. I needed the Bucks to beat the Bengals for the Ravens to keep their first spot.
Gone.
I tell you what, Bucks, Butterfinger Bucks, the amount of drop balls and Brady getting picked off, and I think there was a sack which led to a fumble, and I think they picked up and scored off it, maybe even. Just it was, what was going on with the Bucks? They had nothing.
I didn't watch much of that. I just caught the highlights. But yeah, from the highlights, it looked pretty average.
Oh, there was a lot of swearing in my house. That's all I know.
Yeah.
It was lucky the kids were upstairs playing their devices, and I was downstairs. I was not happy. Been saying that Burrow was amazing. He looked so good. That guy, like, for the Bengals, their offense and their defense, everything was working perfectly. If they play like that for the rest of the season, they're looking for another Super Bowl playoff, I reckon.
Nice.
What do you guys reckon?
I didn't see much of Burrows, but from what I have seen in the last couple of weeks, yeah, he's been going well.
They're sort of sneaky, been a bit sneaky, aren't they? Just sort of flying under the radar a bit, like all San Fran and Philadelphia get all the noise, but they're just cruising and could easily get a wild card and just go from there, or even better.
Yeah, well, they're first in the AFC North now. They've jumped the Ravens. Good. It will be interesting in that division, being one that I follow a little bit. The Ravens and the Bengals will actually play each other in the last week. So there's only one game separating them now. I think this week I can't remember now. The Ravens have the Falcons, I'm pretty sure. So that should be, a pretty well, who knows with the Ravens, but they should win easily. And the Bengals play the Patriots. So it should be a tough game for the Bengals, should be a much easier game for the Ravens, with they're saying Lamar's going to be back. So fingers crossed for Ravens fans. The Giants 20 over Commanders 12. Davo.
Oh, they were
you watched this
shocking.
game?
I watched
only
part
sort of
of it,
half-time,
and
so.
yeah, it's true. Well, mind you, true Commanders form though. It's like they'll be good for a couple of weeks, suck for a couple of weeks, and then just miss out in the playoffs, miss out on a wild card spot by probably one game.
Yeah.
So
it'll be that half a game that they threw away earlier.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm used to it. It's it's tough.
My word. And then today the Packers 24 over the Rams 12. Packers were good.
That was a good game to watch too. What was it? It was what was it? -9? Is that what?
-9, I think. Yeah, the Aussie ESPN guy who was at the ground said it was.
Unbelievable.
And I'm sure in the crowd there's people with short sleeve or probably no shirt at all, no Green Bay fans.
Yeah, all painted up with
beers.
Big slice of cheese in their head.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so with 3 weeks left, we've got a number of teams that have clinched playoff spots. The Bills have clinched a playoff spot. Kansas City have clinched a playoff spot in their AFC West division. The Eagles and Cowboys have both clinched a playoff spot and battling each other out for a division. The Vikings, they've clinched a playoff spot, and the NFC North 49ers have also clinched with the NFC West. So I think after this week, depending on a few results, we could have a few more that have clinched divisions. And there'll only be sort of 1 or 2 divisions that are going to be up for grabs.
Yeah. It should be good watching it out.
been a good season so far, so let's hope it continues.
It has.
Yeah,
It
It's
has.
been a pretty tight season when you look at all these at the standings. Like obviously you've got a couple of teams like the Vikings and Philadelphia that have really sort of run away with it a little bit at the top end. But other than that, everyone's pretty close.
That has been good. There's been some upsets nearly every week. For those that do their sports betting, I bet it's been a tough year for them to pick their multis or whatever. There's been plenty of upsets, that's for sure.
I'm sticking with me 49ers at $17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Should be good. Just check the calendar just then, and I'm on nights the night before the Super Bowl, so it's going to work out perfect. I'll come home for a few hours sleep, and it'll be straight into her.
Yeah, we'll sort out where we're doing that from.
Yeah, easy. I'm easy, mate.
Perfect. I'm sure we can do a little chat.
Mate,
I'm sure you're looking at having a sickie, aren't you, Davo?
I'll try if I start a new job. Have I got the leave? That's the big issue.
couple of chicken wings and couple of chicken wings on the Finetto, mate, and a few beers.
1,000 beers.
Sounds like a tough day out. What about we'll
and a designated driver?
get some King Billy jerky as well.
Oh, love the King. Get on the King Billy jerky.
Jeez. Tough, mate. Tough. Righto, fellas, you got any more sports to round us out for the week?
No, I think I've bored everyone enough by now.
Probably just the signings, I suppose. All the shortstops.
Yeah.
All the shortstops that have been signed.
What do we got? I seen a nice stat there with the New York pitching, both the Mets and the Yankees. It's pretty crazy. Two of the best rotations in baseball are in New York: Scherzer, Verlander, Singer, Quintana, Carrasco, and then you got Cole, Rodon, Cortez, Severino, and Montas. Like, that's crazy. Those two lineups, but yeah,
as long as they stay fit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
what are some of the other signings for the week, fellas? I know
Dansby Swanson.
Yep,
that was pretty big.
Is he signed with the Cubs?
Yep,
was it
Cubbies?
JD Martinez went to the Dodgers.
Justin Turner to the Red Sox.
Yep.
So we've talked about this, Dave, but where's he going to play? Is he going to have to DH?
Yeah, it's a strange move because he will have to DH. Like Devers, his fielding's coming on. So he's a young kid. You're not going to throw him to DH. You want to sign him long term, and it's not going to help by saying, yeah, you're now moving out to DH. He could go over to first. I don't know, but got Dolback over there as well. So it's a strange one for us, unless
another young bloke in Dolback. It's not like you want to throw him into DH either, is it? Like,
no,
you're better off having him long term at first base.
Yeah. They released Hosmer, so they DFA'd him. So at least that clears up a spot. But yeah, that's a strange signing. Hope it works out. But
yeah,
wait and see.
There's been a few good ones as well. Astros re-signing Brantley to a 1-year deal. Yeah, did you blokes just mentioned JD Martinez to the Dodgers?
Yeah, 1-year deal.
Yeah.
The Orioles actually signed a decent player, Frazier.
Yep.
Yeah, which is good for them. A lot of young guys in their lineup. That old head who's a good utility can slide around to wherever, which is good. And he's that contact hitter too, which is good. You know, a bit more of an old school type hitter.
Were you blokes a bit surprised with the dollars for Swanson? Like with the amount of dollars getting thrown around for the other shortstops, and what did he get, a 7-year, 177? Sort of was. I thought he may have got a bit more considering what the other sort of players got. in regards to that. But obviously, 177 mil over 7 years is a bloody big deal. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was,
I think it's probably on par for him, I suppose.
yeah,
He's solid.
yeah,
Like, yeah, he's a good solid player, but I don't know if the others are a touch above. So
yeah,
Yeah, like I think you look at like he lacks the power of a Carlos Correa or someone like that, but you know, still not quite as good as a Trey Turner
yeah,
who has everything. He has
he's
speed, he has contact,
he's
he
all
has
around.
power.
Yeah,
Dansby was probably a little bit underrated, I think.
yeah,
But he was, I think he was a very hot and cold sort of player too, or hot and cold hitter.
yeah,
Like he'd have real streaks where it was red hot, and then he might have a streak where he was ice cold.
and
Defensively, he was pretty strong, but
carried by the team as well. Had a
yeah,
good Braves team around him. That no pressure on him. He could just go out like when you had like Olsen and Riley there hitting their bombs and all the other pieces. He could just sit either in the 2-hole, 7 or 8-hole, and just sort of
yeah,
no pressure on him just to go out and do what he did each day.
yep, that's exactly right. You got blokes like you've or had your Freddie Freemans and Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna Jr. Like the team's freaking stacked around him, really.
Yeah, Aussie Albies.
Aussie Albies, yeah.
But I know Benintendi signed with the White Sox.
Yep.
Joey Gallo over to the Twins. That was another one. Of course, Rodon to the Yankees.
yeah,
Noah Syndergaard to the Dodgers.
yeah.
Not a bad move for Noah.
Yeah, back out in California. And then, yeah, Carlos Correa to the Giants. That's sort of been the main ones that sort of come across. I'm sure there's others.
Kevin Kiermaier to the Blue Jays.
Yep.
Yeah.
1 year.
He's a bloody handy outfielder, isn't he?
Yeah.
Bloke can play in the outfield.
Just say Brantley back. That's a good signing for both the Astros and Brantley. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what comes about for the season. That's for sure. There's going to be some plenty of new look rosters.
Well,
2023.
The opening Sunday night baseball is Phillies versus Rangers. So that gives you a look at sort of two teams that have made a lot of moves in this off season. So
yeah,
and then following week is because they've released the first sort of 5 weeks of Sunday night baseball. So you've got Phillies Rangers, Padres Braves, Rangers Astros. So division battle there. Mets versus the Giants, and then Phillies Astros. So there's your first sort of the April lot of Sunday night baseball. So should be some good games in there.
Should be.
How about some of the notables though that haven't been signed still? Have a look at some of them? Like one for every position. Catcher Gary Sanchez still not touched. First base Will Myers not touched. Second base Gene Segura. World Series player. Shortstop or Jose Iglesias, but he's sort of bounced around a few clubs. He's an old school contact hitter.
Yeah,
handy defense. Like
he's your glove man. He's your backup shortstop.
Yeah,
these days.
Third base Evan Longoria. He's probably getting a bit longer in the tooth, but still pretty handy player. Left field Jurickson Profar. No one signed him yet, which I'm a little bit surprised about. Center field, Adam Engel. Right field, Adam Duvall. He's been with the Braves now for a few years.
Yep.
No one signed him. He was been playing pretty bloody good in the last few years. So a little bit surprised that no one's picked him up yet, even for a DH spot or something like that. In the DH spot, Mancini. I think Davo mentioned this to me the other day. Still no one's picked up Trey Mancini. He must be either asking for way too much because the Orioles would have him back in a second, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid player. He's good all round, good clubman. So
he must be asking for way too much money, I think. And then you look at pitching, starting. Nathan Eovaldi still hasn't picked up a contract yet. And from the pen, Craig Kimbrell is still looking for a contract. He's a pretty handy back end pitcher that surely people would be happy to use.
You would think so.
I think Evaldi, he'll get that 1 year deal. I don't think he'll get a multi-year deal. I think people are still worried about him last year, how much time he spent on the DL. So it could be a 1 year, 2 year tops sort of deal that will get him a bigger contract after that. So, but yeah, if he's fit, it's a handy guy to have.
Yeah.
There is that risk though of sort of how much time he spent on the DL last year.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about some of the contracts, now I've finally seen the Giants on top for something. Most money spent on free agency this offseason. The San Francisco Giants, 463 mil. The New York Mets, 462 mil. Yankees, 412. Phillies, 387 mil. Padres, 352. Texas, 230. Then it bumps down to Houston, 93. St. Louis, 88. The Cubs with 86. And the Blue Jays with 63 mil. A lot of money getting thrown around there.
That must have been before the Cubs signed Swanson.
Must have been.
Yeah. Yes, definitely must be. So yeah, that bumps that up. But mate,
Still big money.
for the Giants, 463 mil. I can't see them going to playoffs this year. 81 and 81 last year.
What did the Giants get for that money?
Carlos Rodon, they lost Rodon, so they Correa.
Yep.
And they just
Jock
got bits and
Peterson.
pieces of pitching.
Peterson re-signed. One or two pitches.
That was only 25 mil or something like that, wasn't it? It wasn't something crazy. Yeah, look, I just can't see them being contenders, Randall. I really hope they are, but yeah.
Well, did you hear on the grapevine the Dodgers have been quiet because they want to save their money this year to go all out to get Otani next year, and there's a Japanese pitcher who's going to be sort of allowed to come to America. So they're apparently word out is they're going quiet this year with what they've got to go all out for Otani and this other pitcher.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
I thought Otani said he didn't want to leave the Angels.
He may not, but I think, Dodgers will want to go all out to get him.
Yeah.
Hope not.
He's not going to win anything with the Angels, that's for sure.
No, it's disappointing for blokes like him and Trout. Trout, he's probably the same where he doesn't care about the money. He just wants to stay there. He'll take unders to stay.
Well, I was looking at today some of the trends on different things on YouTube, and Otani and Trout were like third and fourth in the sports field for the trends. So it's like these blokes are absolute weapons, but they can't win anything because they haven't got a team around them.
Yep.
So anyway,
pretty disappointing for him, but yeah,
that's baseball.
That's what it is. You look at their division, it's the same as your Giants. It's pretty hard to win that division. Oh,
of course.
Especially when you've got, the likes of the Dodgers that can throw massive money.
Yeah.
And they are throwing massive money. The Padres are throwing a lot of money around.
Yeah.
Unless they really throw some coin.
You can beat the Rockies.
Yeah, well.
A couple of times.
You won't finish last. That's all that matters.
I hope not anyway.
Yeah. It's similar to the Orioles, mate, up against some of the big fish. like
Yeah.
the Yankees and the Red Sox and those sort of guys that Toronto Blue
the money
Jays. Yeah,
Toronto's throwing around now.
yeah, that's it. And Tampa Bay, they don't throw money around, but they just seem to produce, don't they?
They do.
They seem to produce good quality, especially pitching. They're just far out.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Next year could be different. The new rules come in where every club plays every team.
Yeah, that's cool.
So which means you play your own division less. So for those sort of teams, it's only a benefit, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I do like that rule.
Yep.
I think it's going to change some statistics too for the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Well, mate, I think this year, the season just gone, the Orioles played the Cardinals at the new Busch Stadium. That stadium's been open for 15 years or whatever. It's the first time they've played there in that stadium. Like, how the fuck can that be?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much interleague on these days.
Yeah. First time they've ever played the Cardinals at New Busch Stadium. I can't remember how long that stadium's been around before, but it was something stupid like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
To not have played a team at their ground in that long. So I think with this, you're going to play every team. You're going to play at every ground every second year, aren't you?
Yeah.
So one year you might play that team at home. The next year you'll play them on the road.
Yeah.
So I like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
It opens up a fair bit. The pitchers aren't pitching against the same teams and same hitters. So you may see more strikeouts and you may see less home runs and lower batting averages because they're not going to, I guess they're not going to know as much as if they're playing the same teams in the same interleague over and over. So
as you say, Randall, it's like what the Orioles missed out on the playoffs by last year. What, couple of games?
Yeah.
You take, say, 10 games away from American League East teams to play some of those weaker other teams.
Rockies, for example, play a 4-game series against the Rockies that they didn't play at all, or someone like that.
Something like that can make the world of difference. Yeah. To the team. So it should be a good move.
Yeah, I agree.
Beautiful. All right, fellas, let's leave it there.
I think your Thunder's about to lose again, mate.
Yeah, I'm watching it on my phone right here.
Strikers need 8 off 12.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The run out just a minute ago helped. DeGrom just crushed a couple of balls into the crowd. So
it's not a bad guy to have in like that middle order. He's been a good signing, the Kiwi. Wrong. So,
all right, fellas, have a Merry Christmas.
You too, mate. You guys have a really good holiday and stay hydrated. It's important to stay hydrated over this Christmas period.
Correct.
Not just the Christmas period.
All right. We'll see you guys in 2023.
Enjoy all.
Be safe.